And we're back. War of Crows, episode 16. The game where we play Blades in the Dark. Mikey was just getting his notes.
I am.
How exciting.
That's my students for work.
Well, what is more exciting is the potential social score that you shall be embarking on, potentially. If you don't want to do an assassination.
I think we take on this social score with assault. I think that's the way we should play this one.
Get out your Trump how to negotiate book.
That's it.
Storm in there.
Art of the deal.
Yeah. That's the one.
That's how you play it.
Oh, they're fucking it all up.
Right, well. I have as usual, a scroll. Anyone fancy reading it? Or
It's on the screen.
On the screen, yeah.
It went so well last time.
It did.
Why don't Mikey do it now that we can hear him in crystal clear?
Oh.
Crystal clear.
8K resolution.
Call center.
Oh.
120 hertz.
James from BT, please tell us if I don't leave BT, what deal can I get?
Look, mate, usually it's 120 quid, right? But yeah, because I've got a special deal that I've just thought of, it's actually £4.50. Magic.
It's not a sponsored stream.
Is the end of the war in sight? With most of their resources shattered, the Red Sashes may be willing to negotiate a surrender. I scrolled too far. The Lampblacks have requested the crew to attend a meeting with Milo, head of the Red Sashes, and her confidant, the bastard Inspector Campbell. Will the crew use this opportunity to take out Campbell once and for all? Or will they attend the social score and stick everyone's asses to the chair? Find out tonight.
Woo!
That's true. So yeah, Saffron wants to stick people's asses to chairs. Lorenzo wants to summon ghosts to tell you what to do.
Friedrich just wants to have a good time, man.
Shag everyone.
Meet some scintillating personalities. Maybe take some of them to bed. Nickel their jewelry.
Beautiful.
Leave a tiny chocolate on their pillow.
Well, so the big dilemma at the end. The big dilemma at the end of the last session was we were teased with the idea of either going to the score or taking out Campbell. I think the votes lie on the side of being part of the conversation about negotiating the end of the war. As in Silas and Lorenzo voted to do that. I wanted to go and take out Campbell, but we didn't think it was worth the effort at this point. Better to actually have a seat at the table and help negotiate. Was the common consensus.
That's true, but it's also not a binary choice. You can also come up with a third way, if you will. A third action.
Free playing, choosing how to play a role-playing game?
Yeah, I know. I mean,
crazy.
We're getting to the end of season 1, which is the hand-holding season. You know, season 2, you're going to be choosing what you do every time. So.
Wow.
All right, let's end up for season 2 then, and go to the negotiation/brunch.
Stick on our railroads for now.
And Silas is really just in this because he thinks he might get some nice French toast with a bit of cinnamon on.
Does sound nice.
Yeah.
And then he's going to get drunk on negotiating sherry and get in a fight, and hopefully that won't be a problem.
Negotiating sherry. Yeah.
Salt.
It's what they serve. What they serve at the Duck and Waffle.
Oh, Duck and Waffle.
So we've done our downtime. We just had to choose the score, and then I guess to set up and go.
You have done a downtime.
Yeah.
Friedrich, just so you know, we did you as a heal, a recover. So yeah. Okay.
That doesn't mean I lose. Does that mean I lose 1 harm, or is it just stress that I lose?
So you should have got ticks on your healing clock.
Oh, okay. I don't have any ticks on my healing clock. How many should I have?
remember if we rolled for you or not. Oh god, what is going to... I roll so many fortune rolls, but it should have been... Let me roll it again. It's a tier 0 dock. So it's just the one segment there.
Nice.
You had a house call from Lorenzo's doctor, Physica friend.
He gave me some paracetamol, apparently.
Yeah, he was terrible actually. So that was canon. It's so terrible that Silas was like, you know what, mate, don't touch me.
Yes, yeah. Silas was going to pay extra money to receive a heal, and nah. I'll just keep myself with just a stab on my.
I mean, we're going to a party. What's the worst? What's the worst that could happen?
More like a peace talks.
Peace talk.
That's a party. Peace talk. I mean, not the first party. I think it's going to be more sit down, boring.
Yeah, I think it happens. Well, it probably happens at night because it's the underworld. So, yeah. Oh, so you're in agreement then? We're moving forward with the meeting. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Right.
So it takes place at the Leaky Bucket, and
Oh yeah.
Pardon?
I was just saying. Oh yeah. So we've been there before.
You have, and the owner of the Leaky Bucket is negotiating. Yes, ex-leader of the Crows is negotiating. It's head of negotiations as a third party, and he's reserved a back room for you where you met the current leader of the Crows all that time ago. And Baz and Pickett are there, and they tell you they're just waiting for the Red Sashes to arrive.
Yeah, they don't have much time for other people, these bloody Eruvians. This is why I feel so damned about doing this deal with these horrible people. But deal we must do, I suppose.
Yeah. And because this is actually a social score, then we need to treat it like a score.
I was going to say we should do it like a...
So
we
what?
looking set up or like a...
What is your load?
Oh, heavy.
I mean, you could do gathering information if you wanted to. If there's anything that you wanted to know beforehand.
Is there a seating chart?
Well, I feel like you'll just have to know that when you arrive.
So they have like at a wedding, have like little, all the tables, everyone's got a little name and a little
Boy, girl.
little place that they know where they go.
Can we scope out just the general profile of the room, like the entrance and access and exit points?
This is all stuff you could do as soon as you arrive, but if there's anything before you get there which you want to do, then...
I mean, we've not done a social score before, but knowing this world, we've got to assume it's all going to go tits up. So we should probably scope out some exits.
Don't forget, you will be doing an engagement roll, so think of the engagement roll variables.
Yeah. Metagaming, guys. Let's not make it too overly complicated. It's got to be daring. How can we have a daring social encounter? We all go home wearing fantastically daring outfits.
Yes.
Bright colours and scarce. Well, Friedrich, we raided Friedrich's wardrobe, yep.
Freshly caught Cornish pixies.
Deal. Good. Daring. I mean, look, again, you know me, I'd rather tell us to trap than kill them all, but it doesn't seem like that's the vibe of the group, so...
Are there any contacts or things that you can leverage to gain a upper hand?
Or in the leaky bucket. Is it one of the places with the fighting pick and the Silas or someone?
Well, I'm thinking Silas might go speak to Marlene in terms of just adding contingency to the negotiation, hoping not to require a vicious group of thuggos, but better to have thuggos and not need them than need thuggos and not have them, is what Silas says.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to go and talk to Marlene, who none of us really know where she's from.
That is true. But also to use them, you would have had to acquire the asset.
Yeah.
Beforehand.
Or I could just go and sway them. Or not.
I'm wondering, is the mechanical cost of using a downtime and spending gold, can it be superseded with a single sway roll?
Might be a sway and some gold. Don't you tell me.
I don't think they can join you on the score and do what they did before and be like a controllable unit.
No, I'm thinking just like they could just perform like a supporting role in our presence there. Like maybe they are, even if they're just working as like some sort of like lookouts in case there's shenanigans, or like,
okay,
I don't know, like whatever roles they might be able to fulfill without being like, because I don't want them on the score anyway. Really, I want them to be just able to support us. I'm trying to think what kind of contingency plan he might work up with them. Like, if there is danger, if something goes wrong, can they secure what our exit route might be? Something like that. You know, assuming we could plan a way back out. You know, something like that where they could help, but I wouldn't be like, hey, get in there.
That is very similar to what I wanted to try and do with Telda and my little beggar children friends, which is to have them be on hand to just create an obstruction and a diversion to cover our escape if need be. So if we are needing to make a quick getaway from the leaky bucket, they could perhaps suddenly be in the street, in the way, making it difficult for us to be pursued.
Yeah, I think with the contacts, you can just agree with them that they will be helping in some way, and that will give you the +1 dice for engagement. And then when you need to work out exactly what they're there for, you can use
flashback or something.
You could use flashbacks, yeah, and they can appear where useful, and you could say it was always the plan.
Yes. Sweet. I suppose we'll probably both be doing that then.
Yeah, I'm still because I'm still not. To contact's different to assets. So, for example, if I wanted to determine a point of the building that we would be doing the meeting in, and set up some kind of explosive as a backup plan, and have Stasia kind of ready and waiting to activate if needed, she's a contact, so it's not something we can get her to do. She needs to be an asset. I'm trying to think of the difference between.
I think with the contacts, you still need to make it worth their while and like
She's
sway
my
them.
surrogate daughter. Could do anything for old Papa Saffron.
But I think acquiring an asset will give you like full control of that person has agreed to take your orders for the duration of the score.
Okay, so today you need that's something you can do in.
That'd be acquiring an asset, like acquiring a person or a cohort.
That's a downtime activity.
Yeah, and then I think the way we'll play contacts is they will still be like, I don't want to do that. Well, I don't want to stick my neck out and be in danger, like that kind of thing.
So then why in the setup can you say use a contact then how can you use a contact to help you if they have to be an asset as well?
they can still help you without being like, I'm going to join you on the score and
Sure. Okay.
risk my life.
Provide information.
Provide information, provide like special equipment or knowledge, or introduce you to people, or whatever it is.
Dog. 1 second, I've got to throw a ball at a dog.
You can use your contact in the blue coats to get some information without, there being a cohort or whatever.
Can't do it every time. I'm a 1.5 trick pony. We should probably roll our Swayzes then.
Swayzes, yeah. So, we can role play the conversation if you wish. I mean, it's don't have to be specific on what they have to do, but yeah.
Well, in fact, I like to think then that this actually, if we very slightly, this would have actually happened when Silas and Lorenzo were down in the pits just last night, probably. And I think Silas is fresh out of going down in the fourth for Lorenzo's benefit, and having taken a bit of a beating, but
Hey, good lad.
Yes. Whatever you say, Lorenzo. Got my money now. I must go speak to my friend Marlene. She will not be very happy. I suspect she will have seen through that one. He saunters on over to Marlene after uncorking a bottle of wine and spitting it out with his mouth, like in a scene you've probably seen before. And he says, Marlene, long time no see. Had to spend a little bit less time at the house these days.
I cannot remember what she sounds like.
Nah.
Did we do Scottish? Did we do Scottish, I think?
We did now.
We did now. I can vaguely remember you requesting Scottish. Are you just glugging the wine yourself, or you?
No, I think they're friends. But probably like quite like a sort of. Probably Marlene had that same thought with the length of the glug. Before he's like, oh yeah, that's all for you, of course.
She takes maybe I think she's probably just also finished a bout or is getting ready for one, like strapping on doing the wraps around the wrist. Takes a glug of the wine. Portobello wine, my favourite. How very kind of you, Silas.
Well, they do call me kind Silas. Anyway, look, Marlene, I know you're about to go and kick the shit out of some poor dock worker, but things are going down tomorrow. Crow's Foot, things are going to change. I only want you on my side.
Well, you know where to find me and what my fee is. Had a good scrap last time, but maybe I prefer to go in the back door next time.
Excuse me? And he regains his focus.
She punches you in the face.
I think Silas, probably having been hit quite a few times in the face already, does not take this hit very well. And probably knocks some sense into him.
It's just a light hit.
Yes, well, spent too long with the Force, Old habits die hard. What with the old rampant misogyny and all that, anyway. So, big changes happening, Crowsfoot. I want you on my side. We're going to be taking over. And, not to put too fine a point on it, but I think you should be riding that tide with us. So, I'll be happily pay your fee, but I will need your assurance. 2 things. 1, that your men can handle a little more subtly than last time. And 2, that you won't send the drunk, because if you do, I'll kill him.
Oh yeah. She, I think she laughs and says, that was hilarious, and it meant we had a great scrap. You should be thanking us for that. We set up quite the distraction. But I agree to your terms, as long as the coin is real and up front as usual. But I have to ask, you said you were going to take charge of Crowsfoot. Are you to be taking out the Red Sashes and the Lampblacks and the Crows all in one go then?
Oh, step by step, but tomorrow will be a big day on the road. It's taking over this lovely little patch of town. You may note that our little crew didn't even exist not so long ago, and look at us now. The damned Emporium.
Hey, look at you now, falling apart. Enemies to the Red Sashes.
This stab wound that I got was because of your drunk man, so if anyone's falling apart, you're at least partly to blame.
It's not my fault you haven't had that looked at.
Do you know a better physiker than I do? Because I'm starting to think that this stab wound should have healed 6 or 7 months ago.
I try my best not to get stabbed, just bruised and battered, which is enough for Dr. Morristan. Maybe on your road to greatness, you'll be able to hire a better physiker.
Yes, I should hope so. Oh well, we'll just have to destroy the Red Sashes first anyway. First things first, all that.
Well, roll me your sway.
My sway with disadvantage, yeah. Why not? I've got no concerns. Position, I like to think, is controlled.
You'd like to think so, yeah. I mean, are you offering any coin at this juncture, or?
Yeah, I think it's assumed that he'll have to pay something. He's just hoping it's.
We can always deal with that when we decide what they're doing. In the flashback.
Okay, yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Works. It can be relevant to the. What's the word? Not relevant.
Proportional to
That's the word.
how much they help. Yeah.
Alrighty. Effect.
Yeah.
Standard.
Yes.
I just like to say what I want it to be, and then. Alright.
Hope.
Bonus dice 0. It's a bit early to be pushing ourselves, isn't it? Bit early.
Yeah, maybe keep your powder dry.
Alright. Well.
Well.
What level of harm do I take? I don't know.
Yeah, luckily you can't take harm when you're in a controlled position.
That's good.
I think I think she says what does she say? I don't know, maybe we'll leave that to the flashback to see how the rest of this conversation played out.
I guess Lorenzo just sees Silas huffing and puffing and trotting away from his conversation with Marlene.
Yes.
And we don't really know how the rest of it went.
That's true. And I mean, I recently watched Oppenheimer, and that is 3 hours of that. Like, oh, remember that conversation you saw 2 hours ago? Here it is now. Fully formed.
We should really stop using Peaky Blinders as a reference point and start using Oppenheimer.
That's true. We need to.
I've not seen it.
But it's so much more boring.
Is it worth watching?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'd say wear headphones, because otherwise you won't be able to hear a lot of the audio.
Sounds terrible.
So the Inception.
It's just
Sounds great. It's just really, really, really loud and more focused on atmosphere than you actually understanding anything that happens.
Yeah.
I don't understand anything because I'm a big dum-dum, so.
What's Iron Man doing in there? Why is he all old?
I didn't know Iron Man was a politician in 1968.
Why is he fighting Scarecrow now? We digress. So, one bad roll out of the way. Who else is gathering information? Lorenzo, you've been silent.
Yeah, Geezer. I'll go and do some hunting, I reckon. Do some trekking
Yeah.
of the area where we're meeting them.
In order to...
Just to get the lay low, like survey the area, but more in a hunting way. Can I like hunt to like kind of scan the area to set up for like where the ambush points are, like where to look out for if it was like an ambush or something like that.
It sounds like survey.
Does really?
I mean, the hunt has a little...
I mean, I can survey. I don't mind surveying.
Hunt, gather information about its location and movements. Hunt a target, yeah. I think survey is the one to get standard effect.
Yeah, true. Risky standard? Controlled, because it's gathering information, right?
Are you trying to be unseen?
No.
Then
I believe so.
Then risky standard.
Because okay. So I'm in my light clothing. I just look like a bloke. Nobody's gonna recognize me, right? So.
Well, you're 1 to level 3, and you're gonna be.
Well.
You don't find. You don't learn nothing.
I mean, the consequences can't be that bad. So no, I don't find any good vantage points or anything like that.
I think no, you don't, and also I think because I think the maybe when you're trying to scout around, you go around a corner and you see Inspector Campbell coming the other way.
He's everywhere I turn. I see him in my nightmares. I see him in the little down the road.
Use the caster specs of this campaign.
And I'm also going to
Never welcome, but always there.
I'm also going to tick down the warrant of arrest. So perhaps you are spotted by some bluecoats or somebody who reports back to the bluecoats that you're going to be appearing in this negotiations.
Oh jeez. Oh jeez, Rick.
Saffron, Friedrich, anything?
Mikey, we can't hear you.
You're muted.
I was just muted. It's not too dramatic. So what I'm going to do is this. I thought about just poisoning everything ahead of the meeting. But actually what I'm going to do in gathering information is I want to find out what will be served at the meeting, from what bottles, what you assume it's going to be some of the best stuff that the leaky bucket has, some of its finest, I don't know. And I want to find replica versions I want to source using my contacts, such as Stasia, who has lots of contacts with some of the more, all the chemicals and all the legal stuff that's floating around. So that would cover alcohol and that stuff, and bring in a spiked bottle of my own. So if things do go wrong, I might swap out the bottles, which again I'm confused by, because this could be a flashback. Am I crazy? Would that be too complicated for a flashback? Is it good that I'm doing this as a setup? It feels like it's good as a setup because it seems quite complicated, whereas a flashback should be kind of like.
So tell me what
I bought a replica bottle.
Yeah, tell me what you're doing in one sentence.
Bringing in a already spiked bottle that is what's the word? Untellable. What's the word I'm trying to say? My brain's gone.
Detectable?
Exactly the same as a bottle that's already there that
Yeah.
I can swap out.
Undistinguishable.
Indistinguishable. There, indistinguishable from the bottle's already been used in the pub to swap out if things start going south to poison the.
Yeah, that sounds like a
Young
flashback, to be honest.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll keep that in the pocket.
I don't know what you would roll to do that. That's just you doing a thing, right? That's not really
Yeah.
like much chance of failure.
Yeah. Well, look, that's my plan. So whatever I set up that makes it easier to roll later on, I've done all the work if needs be done.
Okay.
I've got on me a poisoned bottle ready to be swapped in if needs be. If things start going south.
Okay.
And maybe that's a waste, but hey, I think it's pretty cool.
That's okay. It might save you some stress in the flashback. So
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
yeah.
And I can't take any stress, so yeah, it does something there. But
Yeah.
Friedrich, you doing anything?
Well, I was gonna meet up with Telda and see if they could be on hand to provide distraction/obstruction to cover our exit. I was thinking, would it be worth instead setting up a signal of some kind with her to have them like rush into the pub and distract indoors? But I don't think that's a bit too far, and I don't know what the signal would be. So I think the first thing.
Okay.
And we've probably done a bit enough RP already. But just picture Friedrich catching up with her in one of her usual haunts, handing her an apple because she's starving because she's an orphan, and promising her and her little orphan buddies 1 coin to share between them if they get the job done nicely and get us out safely.
Sounds good. And I think coin is so much for urchins. Then I think you pretty much bought their services for the evening. Sounds horrible, but you know what I mean. All right. Well, pick your loads.
Light.
well, I'll be in my wheelchair
Okay.
for a quick getaway.
Oh, you should have gathered information to see if
Is
it's
How wheelchair
accessible.
is
Yeah.
the leaky bucket?
Considering that the thing's never existed before, I assume not. But also, with a little bit of boost, I can get up and down stairs. He's fine.
Is
Give it a
this,
little
the type of is this the type of meeting you don't bring guns to, or you do bring guns to?
Well, that's up to you to decide, isn't
Yeah,
it?
decide that when you get there.
You say you don't have to choose yet, do you?
Oh,
But
yeah,
true.
true.
You assume we'd be going in light. I mean, again, Olly,
Um,
remind me how you want to do my wheelchair. You assume it's normal, more because of the the way it looks and presents in terms of
Yeah.
It's like a civilian vehicle, right?
less about.
Well, no,
Yeah.
it's a completely bespoke creation that people will immediately be suspicious of. So yeah, it's definitely not light.
No, so I'll be normal.
With Sparkcraft sort of sputtering on the back as well.
I fixed it. It's not that spluttering anymore. Only the occasional electric shock goes off.
Occasional cry of a dead soul encased within.
Ignore that.
Don't listen to him. He's irrelevant.
Yeah,
He's a right moaner.
that's just Gaz. Gaz in me motor. Right, load Silas.
Is he back?
Normal.
Oh, he's back. Normal.
Normal
what are you
load.
planning?
Silas would not go into the lion's den unarmed, and would also see his role as probably not lead negotiator, especially considering how his chat with Marlene went, but would see his role as, I'm going to stand around in the room, and if you pull anything funny, I'm going to stab you in the face. So
Yeah, it's an interesting use of the phrase lion's den, because usually there's not mediators and sort of like rules of
I think you're going into negotiations in a room of criminals, right? It's
Yeah,
always
but
going
we're
to
all
be
criminals.
there's always going to be a dangerous aspect.
When
to
everyone's
it.
a criminal, no one's a criminal.
It's
know?
like
Yeah.
like when
I
all the
think-
pirates meet. There's always that air of tension.
Yeah, and if we were in some sort of scenario like some pirate code of honor where it's probably a bad example, but where it was generally held that they would be safe.
I think this is a usual underworld thing. Like negotiations are parlay rules. Whereas pulling a red wedding and killing them all at the negotiation table would mean that you are never to be trusted again by any other faction.
Yeah, I think despite that, Silas wouldn't go in without some preparation. Even he might be aware that it might raise eyebrows.
You may know that you may know that you would be not allowed in the room armed.
Yeah. Well, if that came to pass, then he could leave his weapons and things, but he'd certainly want to be wearing. He doesn't leave the house without his breastplate.
This is why I need to. This is why I need to.
Oh, he's Vimes. Of course he doesn't. He's bloody Captain Vimes.
I don't know who that is, but it's probably.
But wait, it's that's from a thing. Is that from Discworld?
Discworld, yeah.
Yeah.
How does the expectation of leaving weapons at the door, how does that work with us deciding that we had the weapons all along? Can we just not decide that we have weapons above a certain class? Could Friedrich, for example, halfway through the thing, decide that he had his throwing knives? Or would they have been found in a search?
Maybe
hide in the wheelchair, mate.
Maybe you can do a finesse roll to try and sneak him in.
I told you to take the old man's wheelchair.
I think you could even do a flashback to say you paid one of the butlers or the staff or whatever to
That's fucking genius, mate.
Store a weapon in the room.
Pistol taped to the bottom
we've moved
of the
on
table.
from gathering information
It
rolls, but it is flashback
now.
materials. Yeah. So yes, I think what happens is you are searched for weapons, and that includes cheeky daggers and swords and pistols and blow pipes and
an armor anyway, so because he's probably not going to rock up. I'm just looking at the other things like, Silas, why have you got demolition supplies in your bag? That wouldn't make sense. So actually, I'm going to be like,
will they thoroughly search our footwear? Because Friedrich's got a boot tip toe knife.
That's true. I don't think they would search that. Yeah, the unusual weapons. Yeah, I don't think they would search those.
Popping that in the back of the head for later.
I think as well, it's more of an honor system.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
If you were sat in your chair and you were seen to have weapons on you, it was found out, then that would be a really bad thing. So, I think you would all know. Your characters would know to give up weapons.
Be death to rep. If we get into a fight and we're seen to be the baddies, we're in trouble.
I think we'll be fine.
What about a little satchel of potions?
Don't listen to Lawrie. You should hear how he plays Baldur's Gate.
Oh, I do want to.
I've gotten better.
You just kill everyone.
That was the first playthrough.
You play like GTA.
I'll learn.
6-star rating.
I completed the game before it. Original Sin 2. That was an achievement.
Yeah.
So I got confused with my playbooks. I don't know what I was looking at, getting excited by. I still don't understand arcane potions. I think I need to craft them at some point. So the playbook I took was one I've been wanted for a while. It's called Venomous, which allows me to choose a drug or poison to which I become immune and can secrete it through my skin or saliva or exhale it as a vapor, which is fucking awesome. I've chosen Skullfire as my potion, which is toxic fumes that cause incapacitating migraines. Just so everyone knows, if I start secreting Skullfire poison.
Nice. And you can breathe it on people.
Yes.
Oh, like in Dune.
Yeah.
There's the tooth with the poison in.
Jukeletto. You have to push yourself to do it, so that you would have to. It's too stressed to do
Oh,
it.
that
But
sucks.
oh,
I guess it's quite powerful, isn't
Mikey, classic Mikey, not reading the cost to
Why are
his
there always rules?
to his
Why are there always
poisonous,
rules?
his space
Why can't it just
marine.
be cool? Why can't it just be cool and easy and fun? It's always like you could do something fun, but you die. It's just like great.
You know what? Why? Because you end up with a stupid hurricane that breaks every combat encounter and ruins everyone's fun and makes me hate Age
Not my
Sigmar.
fun.
So,
Not my fun. Still cooler.
well, the engagement roll it is.
Okay.
Is this operation particularly bold or daring? No.
Walking into the line of den. It's pretty daring.
Yep, that good old parlay lions. Lions on parlay.
Badger's hutch.
Is it complex or contingent on many factors? No. I to be honest, I don't think much of this is going to take much into account.
Use the contact.
But you have, so you have, can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insights? You do get +1 for that. Are any enemies or rivals interfering in this operation? Well, Inspector Campbell is going to be there, so that is -1.
You're taking them out.
So you wouldn't have been able to be here if you didn't it.
Oh yeah.
So it's
Still.
uno diso.
Still, that's in our upper echelon of dice rolls for entanglements. Oh,
Hey,
God, I wasn't ready. Wasn't ready. What was it? Oh, nice. Lovely.
It's a
Okay.
risky start.
Okay. Even at a 5, it's risky.
Yeah.
It's all risky, mate. Everything we do is risky.
But I guess you could do a critical roll on an engagement, right? You could critical.
Yeah.
What would that look like?
You just
That's
completely get the drop on them. Like you would know.
Cool.
Somehow you'd know loads of stuff about all of their weaknesses and stuff, or they'd be completely caught off guard.
And a 6 would just be a standard
Controlled start, so you would probably have some advantage to start with.
Sure. Whereas what it is
Risky, so neither advantageous or disadvantageous.
Okay.
Things just go normally. So easy work for
now.
good old game master. For now, yeah. You don't like walk in and like see Campbell go into the loo and then you just break the lock on the door.
Oh, I definitely should have at least like.
There hasn't had a blasted loo
wrecked
roll
his
here.
chair. Can I flash back already and just say I've wrecked Campbell's chair? Just one of the legs. Just when he sits on it, it falls over and he's really embarrassed about it.
Yep, 3 stress.
The fuck.
Wait, how much stress? What's your stress looking like?
2. I've got 2 left before I get another trauma.
Okay, 2 stress then.
Fine. I don't.
You want to push
do
yourself?
something fun, entertaining. I don't. No, it's fine. I just sit in a corner. I just with a Rubik's cube.
Yeah.
The whole time.
Yeah. You're gonna push yourself to do the Rubik's cube?
Shut up. But if I push myself, do I complete it? Because I've never completed one in real
Yeah.
life. At least completing one in fake life would actually be kind of an accomplishment.
Oh yeah.
I'll think about it.
Yeah. We could even push to say that three stress flashback. You invented the Rubik's cube in Duskwell.
That's fucking awesome. I'm tempted. But the trauma is that you've had to, do a Rubik's cube, which is of course traumatic, as we all know. So
Yes.
that is the trauma. If you see a
Or
Rubik's cube,
it's like your golden egg, right? So you're constantly trying to pursue the next best product, which I'm assuming is what Rubik's did and failed at.
I met Mr. Rubik's.
No way.
I did. They did at the Red Bull Sphere. They did a Rubik's cube speed competition. He was there. Yeah.
Mr. Rubik.
Yeah. He was pretty cool. Handsome man for someone who invented the Rubik's cube.
Is it Rubik or Rubik's?
I didn't ask him that.
What's a single Rubik's? A monobix?
It's really
Ruba.
unsettling though when he starts, like all his body parts start like rotating and
Legs in his head, in his knees, in his eyes.
He's a hull in disguise.
He might be.
Just rotates out of time and space. Anyway, strange tangent. Put that in the YouTube shorts. Thanks, Mikey.
What they come to us for.
It's true.
It's true.
All of them.
All of them. Wipe them out. Well, you take your places at the negotiation table, and the head of next to Bazo and Pickett. Maybe Pickett doesn't get a chair. Only the leaders get chairs. But Silas, you're standing anyway, aren't you?
Yeah.
Imposing.
I brought my own chair.
That's true. They make a little space for you, right between the middle of both parties, like opposite the Marden, the negotiator.
Oh, I don't like him anyway because he's a very handsome old man, isn't he? As opposed to my
He
completely
is.
dishevelled,
Yeah.
drug-addled, cracked-faced madman. He's a handsome old fox, isn't he? He's basically Mr. Rubik, basically.
Yeah.
Silver fox.
Yeah. We need to have like a one shot where there's like a Mamma Mia situation with you and Crow's guy, and then another elderly bachelor character.
Yep. Stasia.
Friedrich has brought with him a paisley patterned large silk handkerchief, which he folded. I say handkerchief, big handkerchief, like kind of pillowcase
Pashmina.
sized, which he sort of like whips out and lays on the chair before he sits down, because they don't keep the furniture very clean in these places.
It's true. It's not been reupholstered in many a decade. All right, and then of course, Mylera, leader of the Red Sashes, who you probably never met, stalks into the room proudly with her, looking very annoyed though that she's having to give up her saber at the door, and then following her hobbles in Inspector Campbell, and the crow thuggo who's on the door goes, "Oh, excuse me, Inspector, you're..." He's like, "Oh, yeah, yes." He's like, "Your sword cane, Inspector." He's like, "Oh, you wouldn't separate an old man from his walking stick." No, I'm not doing it.
I did that one already.
Did that one. It was a callback. It was a light motif.
Reference.
Yes. So he gives up his sword cane, and they take their place. I think Mylera takes her place at the end of the table opposite Bazo, and the inspector finds a kind of a bar edge to sort of lean on.
So everyone's got a leaner then. The Red Sashes have Spectre. We've got our Silas, and the Crows have what's his name? Patrick.
Patrick O'Houlihan.
No, who's the second in command of the Lampblacks?
Oh, Pickett.
Pickett. Close. I was close.
Yeah, Pickett's just like walking around the room, like just grabbing bottles off the little private mini bar that's in this room, and he's like, "Oh, nice! Oh yeah, nice."
Keeping an eye on the keeping an eye on his bottles, checking to see if there's one that's comparable to the one he's brought in. That's ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
So is it from the Lampblacks? It's just Bazo and Pickett? Is that it?
Yeah.
And then from the Red Sashes, it's just Mylera and
Campbell.
So we outnumber them.
Did anyone wheel in Saffron, by the way?
We don't need wheeling in. He wheels himself in.
I wheeled in Saffron.
No, you didn't. I went in by myself. I'm fine.
Come on, old man.
No, I'm okay. Leave me alone.
Lorenzo's been sabotaging his chair and snipping the wires just so that he can push him
I
around.
can help you. It was working this morning. I turned it on and off again. It's still not working.
It's
Like-
jammed.
Pours out all of the washers that he's been removing.
I'll just be standing behind Saffron, looking intimidating.
Okay. An intimidating sort of porter.
Porter.
Yeah. So what was the name of the crows guy again, Saffron? You said it before.
I had it. Well. My notes say Mardin-Dell.
Mardin-Dell, that's it. So Mardin-Dell opens the proceedings, explains that this is a negotiation for the truce between the Red Sashes and the Lampblacks. I've forgotten how he talks. He doesn't talk like Pickett, but he's American. And he says it's traditional that the two parties lay out their terms. So please, Mr. Baz. And Basil Baz says, we are willing to accept the surrender of the Red Sashes. In order to do so, they must surrender all of their turf within Crowsfoot. They must demolish that eyesore that they call a sword academy. And they must swear that no Red Sash member will ever cross the bridge into Crowsfoot ever again. And at this, Milo just like bursts, as like in anger, and then Campbell like puts a hand on her shoulder and whispers something in her ear and says, Milo and myself have also brought some terms that we are willing to meet the Lampblacks in. Out of those three things, we are willing to do just one of those. But we will also end this war between us.
Well, how about the one where there's no Red Sashes in Crowsfoot? Seems to accomplish all the goals.
He's gone very Davy Jones, has he?
Yeah, I try to think. It's because the last few weeks I've been watching Peaky Blinders and I've since finished it, so I need to think of the Inspector Campbell. So it is okay. No, it's not. Yeah. So he says, Milo is about to sort of speak out again, and he says, "That'll be the one that I would recommend we settle on. I think the Red Sashes in particular would love to see the Sword Academy that has been there for generations to remain standing in Crowsfoot. But we would remove any kind of fighting members of the Red Sashes from Crowsfoot. We would cede control of Crowsfoot to the Lampblacks and the Crows.
And the damned Emporium.
Silas just sort of coughs from his sort of leaning post behind everyone. Inspector Campbell, I don't suppose what you're trying to do at this moment in time is tell us that you'll be leaving a sword academy in the middle of our territory and that there'll not be any swordsmen in it. That is what you're saying.
Well, the Sword Academy is more of a traditional school. It's not so much about the fighting, but learning about the ways of Iruvia. Your man Saffron would know this if he ever bothered to attend, like his countrymen.
They can all burn in hell. Just burn the damn thing down. If there's any pockets of Iruvia left in this town, there's too many pockets for me.
Friedrich just like...
We send all Iruvians out of Crowsfoot, including Saffron.
Whoa. I've...
On a boat.
I'll take the damn dodge with me.
A welcome clarification, Inspector. So we are then to understand that anybody all the staff, trainees, and Red Sash affiliated personnel in the academy will be using only blunt training instruments, and there will be no men or women under arms in the establishment from this day forward. Do I understand you correctly?
This is essentially what the situation is now, Mr. Von Haig. I'm sure if you've ever found yourself inside the Sword Academy, which I'm sure you haven't, then you'll have known that is the case.
You're quite correct. I count myself a rather adept swordsman, though not using the traditional apparatus. That was supposed to be a dick joke, but it didn't really quite come off.
I didn't get it.
Did you say that in character as well? That was a little dick joke.
just to lighten the mood.
Kids and the body listed.
And I'm sure, therefore, that the academy would submit to regular inspections by the ruling authority in the district,
which is no one.
Whoever that turns out to be at any given time.
I think it's leaving too much power for them within our reach. They're not to be trusted to leave such a stronghold established. It's true, though. I've heard that the sword ground is full of a bunch of namby-pamby, terrible sword fighters. That's what I've heard, anyway. I'm sure you agree. But it can't be allowed to stand as it is. It's too powerful. It's too powerful a holding position for them to recruit and regain strength. It must go as well. I suggest we meet halfway and enact 2 of these 3 requests from the Lampblacks.
I think Campbell goes to kind of pace and think, and my Lyra says, she says, you should know that it is not just the inspectors that we Red Sashes have contacts within. There are more powerful factions than even them that we are connected to through blood. Would not be very impressed at these 3 requests from the Lampblacks. So I suggest you think very carefully about how far you push this negotiation.
No doubt the Red Sashes, and with their august history in this city, have all manner of powerful contacts and friends, as do the other people around this table, I'm sure. But my lady will certainly acknowledge, in the context of this negotiation, that if they were so powerful, we would not all be around this table in this situation as we are now, would we? Nor would the Red Sashes be prepared to make any concessions at all. So let's speak plainly. What arrangements can be made to secure an agreement along the terms that my octogenarian friend has suggested?
Sectogenarian?
Nonagenarian? I'm not really sure.
Questionable genarian, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's still like 40, but again, in Dustfall, that's considered, near death.
Yeah, the time lapse will get you.
What accommodations can be made to allow it?
I think when you say about when you were talking, she kind of slams a fist on the table, and you see Campbell be like, like an exasperated look, and she says, our connections let us wage our wars and don't mean to get involved in these small fights. But if you try to eradicate the Aruvian presence from Duskval, then they certainly will get involved.
Can I ask? I'm a bit confused. Are they both Irish?
Correct.
Okay. Because I was getting the impression that he was doing a lot of speaking, but she has been speaking as well.
Yes.
Sorry, I thought there was something weird going on, but okay, cool.
Not from Duskfall, my lady. Only from Crow's Foot. I'm sure we would not push our luck further than that. We all want
trouble
a
the Aruvians.
friendly agreement.
Yeah, there's no one more powerful. I think Crow's Foot is like there's nobody more powerful than Tier 2. I think.
I think it's a very fine request. This past few months have been very trying, and the Aruvians.
Did I cut out for anybody else?
We should certainly consider expelling the whole lot of them from Crow's Foot as well as the academy. It cannot stand.
You cut out a bit for me there.
I was just saying the same old shit.
Yeah, I think we all got the racist gist.
Whoa! I'm a Ruvian. I can't be racist.
That old chestnut.
Yes. Yes. So what are you saying? You guys can do rolls as well. This is a score.
Yeah, sure. Well, I'm trying to push the Lampblacks to agree to. What were the three options? The three things were. What was the first one?
So it's seed all the turf.
It's all kind of the same thing, isn't it? It's a bit weird, isn't it?
Well, no, because one thing is getting turf, like surrendering it to either you or the Lampblacks. Removing the Sword Academy, and also like not setting foot on Crow's Foot.
But yeah, so we can't really get rid of all the Aruvians, really. That was my question. Sorry, it's Aruvians a bit more ingrained. They're not just only the Lampblack. The Red Sashes.
It'd be like they wouldn't be allowed to be seen like wearing their swords, basically.
Well, that's
kind of like
great.
how they did the samurai.
But there's no way to apart from getting far too real worldy. Removing removing Aruvians would be not a simple concept. It's not like they're ingrained inside. They're not just only in the.
Yeah.
I think the point is that she is conflating the two as her issue. We're saying get rid of the Red Sashes. He's like, you can't eradicate us from the city.
Exactly. We can't get rid of all the Aruvians. So that's as much as No, it's getting rid of the it's getting rid of the celebration of it, I suppose.
We're saying get rid of the Red Sashes, not Aruvians, right?
Well, I would say Aruvians, but then it sounded to be quite impractical when I thought about it.
I think Saffron's desire
You're going for genocide
solution.
when they're trying to get rid of a gang.
Why? Let's touch real world shit.
Yeah, let's not equate the faction with the race.
Exactly. No, it's more like exactly.
The nation.
Let's understand that being practical. Let's go with the Red Sashes. So that would be
impractical and wrong.
But if they, of course, but if they ceded turf,
Crow's Foot has the right to defend herself.
If they
What
ceded
if I played a
turf,
role-playing game character that was in favour of ethnic cleansing?
I liked escapism, Yeah, they'd have to. Cause it's weird because if they only do one, let's say we seeded turf but didn't do option 3, then it's like, yeah, okay, no, it does all compute. No, sorry, go Karen. Silas, 2 speak. Sorry.
Yes, I think. Go on, Silas.
Okay. It's fair. It seems fairly clear to Silas from his position of observation that there is a certain amount of tension between the inspector and
Malera.
Obviously, they are maybe it's just their disposition, but it seems like they are not completely aligned with how they're handling this. So he would like to he wants to observe this. I want to study them. And as the discussions go on, just to try and so that he can try and get insight into how they respond to different statements and things, almost like he's interrogating. I don't know what appears to be the rift. He's just trying to see what are the bits that gets one of them riled up. What does it seem like the inspector is actually trying to get them to concede on, to try and get a clearer picture of that.
Yep. Okay, that sounds like a survey.
Yeah, that works for me. Survey, I got one paper each anyway, survey and study. Oops. Pencil. Survey.
Well, yeah.
Right. Position. Oh, that's Silas's house.
I think this is going to be Frisky Limited. Because they are tier 2.
Alright, come on, Silas.
Inspectors are... Oh dear. Well, that's a big old 2. So you, you don't get any of that information, unfortunately. I think what happens is you're so busy seething it at the inspector, and when you sort of he sees you looking at him, and he puts his kind of hand on himself where you have had that stab wound. And he kind of gives you how's that doing? Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, I mean, I think Silas just struggles to conceal his his boiling temper.
His righteous fury.
Yeah, righteous-ish. He's like well, he's not like Malcolm Reynolds at all, but it's like the scene when he's like they do the dueling and he's like, I'm a good guy, and he stabs the guy and goes, I'm okay. That's how righteous I'd say Silas is.
I haven't seen it in many years, but I do remember liking that episode.
It's good.
Yeah, they're all good.
It's very Red Sashy actually, with all the dueling toffs.
Yes, yeah, like a kind of a Louisiana swampy kind of place, right?
Yeah.
But space.
But space.
It's space. All right. Yeah, you don't get that information.
He was more of a door kicker than an inspector, but he likes to think that he's got the experience.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to read Campbell, and he is in his element here. Everything he does is playing to this audience that he knows very well.
I think in general, Silas is quite out of his depth in this meeting.
Yeah. But I think what we can do is we can set up clocks to determine how persuaded each side is. So you can endeavour to convince them both that what you're saying is the right way forward, I guess.
I figured out my point of confusion. I couldn't figure out how. Say for example, we could do one of the things, which is no more red sashes in Crow's Foot, but that doesn't also complete one, which is they give up their turf. How could they not be here but not give up their turf? Is that just a similar thing? It's just kind of.
I imagine it's sequential, so it'll probably be in order. So you have to do 1 to do 2 and 1 and 2 to do 3, kind of thing.
But he said he was fine doing 3, which is leaving. Which how is that not?
No, he's
2 of them.
Because he wants to just keep the Sword Academy going.
But he's not fast about the turf.
Apparently not.
Okay. But I wanted to destroy the Sword Academy because it's still a. So I want to try and persuade Baz to push ahead with. Yes, they must leave, and also the Sword Academy must be torn down, or at least the building can exist, but it's stripped away. There's no red sash training going. There's no education. There's nothing red sashy about it anymore. No banners, no flags, no nothing. It's just the building can exist. It can be a sword academy, but not a red sash sword academy. It can be
a great place to set up Silas's new special constable division.
Exactly. So I want to start pushing. I mean, again. Well, I guess. Sorry. I mean, again. This is really fun. So, is it then we pushing Bazza to be on side with us, or are we actually trying to convince them to be on side? Is that what's the better? I'm asking everyone really. What's the better tactic? Is it we're trying to convince?
Well, were you trying to convince? Are you trying to make it so that they just do 2 things?
Yeah, although, but
Out
then
of the
really,
three.
those two things are the third thing, because if they leave, they lose their turf. So really, if we quote unquote destroy, or at least like strip bare the academy, and they leave Crow's Foot, then surely that's all three things. They leave Crow's Foot, the turfs.
Yeah, but I don't think you can. I don't think you can argue for that. I think you have to be like. I think
It's
to
not
do.
pick and mix.
Yeah, I think to do 3, you have to do the other 2.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. But okay, I see what you mean. Right, I see what you mean. Yeah, so by doing 3, it does 1, and he's fine with that. But if I do 3 and 2, that brings 1, which is 3, and that is too much. Okay, cool. Got my head around
Let's
it.
think of this just as like tiers of success rather than 3 separate items.
Yes. Well,
Like, tier 1, they lose turf. Tier 2, they also give up the Sword Academy. Tier 3, they all leave and now never seen it again.
but it's not though, because he was happy to leave. He was happy to leave, lose the turf.
I think
but
one
not lose the
or 2 can be alternating, but you
Yeah,
need to do both to get 3.
yes, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to push for 3 then, really, because.
Well, then you need to push Mylera and Campbell then, because that's
Yes.
what Bazo wants.
Okay. Well, what I'm going to do first of all then, because as Silas said, there is something peculiar going on with these two in their relationship. So I'm going to antagonize them. I'm going to try and sway, manipulate, kind of bluff a little bit, try and put them off their game a little bit. And I'm going to say something on the lines of, Mylera, this boot jack upstart seems to be doing a lot of the talking for you. I thought you were a noble leader, a fierce warrior, and I've seen him do a lot of the talking. It doesn't seem like he respects particularly your position on all of this, and really, I've respected your fightiness as a Ruvian to a Ruvian, and not considering this outsider, this inspector. I've always respected your strength, despite disliking your methods and your background. But I want to hear more from you. I think we can talk more openly, and the inspector is confusing the matter. I think he should be pushed aside, and I'd like to speak to you more directly. I'm trying to sway them to be kind of more like susceptible, or have them more on my side. You know,
ploy.
I don't think so.
The
Divide them up and conquer.
positions.
Well,
Divide and conquer.
sounds like you need to roll me something then.
Yep. Roll your sway. Sorry, coughing. Right, sway.
So I'm going to start
You
a
want
clock.
to help me?
I'm going to start a clock as well, and then so if you do the clock, then we'll say we'll say that
sway,
their position.
It's swaying someone with charm, logic, deception, disguise, bluff, or seduction. I don't know if you want to help me, Friedrich, with a bit of seduction at the same time. Really confuse the kind of messages we're giving them.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'm not sure in terms of exactly what he would say, how that would fit in, given that you've done the speech already.
Sure.
But he can bat his eyelids. I mean, he's been sort of trying to be way more
Negotiation tactic.
way more sort of diplomatic and kind of respectful than Saffron thus far, with a view to
True.
ideally being able to use some charm at some point. So maybe he just sort of like throws her the eyes. Good enough for support, or not?
I don't know if that's going to be enough to get a +1 die. Simply looking seductively at someone in very serious negotiations.
But it's Friedrich looking seductive. It's not any old tosh round here. It's Friedrich we're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you can throw in a few words like, "Don't be put off by Saffron's abrasive manner and his internalized insecurities about the Iruvian nation and its people. They're not personal. He is, I believe, completely serious about his respect for you as a leader of men and women, as are we all. certainly say that the Emporium would rather deal with the Red Sashes through you than through this so-called man of the law. Do take what he has to say seriously. We can all be friends, perhaps. And he sort of raises his glass and looks her in the eye, takes a sip. Sensuously. That better?
What does that look? What does that look like, Alex? Can you show us, please?
I don't have a drink.
Oh well. Red dice. I like it. I like it. It'll work on me.
All right, get your +1 dice.
Yeah. Here we go.
Nice.
Role-playing games.
That's what it's all about. Position
Just
feels very controlled.
Bully the GM into giving.
But actually,
making it away.
because it's actually very meta. He wasn't actually just doing seductive eyes at Malera. He was doing it at you. So you've actually, in an Inception kind of way, you've actually fallen for the.
That's true.
Risky setup or risky control.
Let's do risky because.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, the risk is the negotiations, right?
Effect.
I'm gonna say limited effect because.
Alex wasn't sexy enough. Yeah, I know. I agree.
The problem every single day of my life.
I mean, I don't know what negotiation books you've been reading, but.
Hey, that's pretty good though.
It's
Pretty
a
good though
6.
for a limited effect.
It's a 6. It's a limited effect.
Enjoy that second dice, did you, Mike?
I loved it. It was very it was a very sensual second dice.
Yeah. Don't forget to take 1 stress as well, Friedrich, for the aid.
Roger.
Yeah. So now we have to remember exactly what you said 10 minutes ago when you asked.
Basically, I'm trying to put a wedge
I
between
know.
them, trying to kind of like, get her on our side more.
I know. All right. I think what happens is she says, in this negotiation, the inspector and I are in one mind. Of that you can be sure. And then you see Campbell like bending down and sort of muttering something. And she says, "You can't be serious. I thought you're supposed to be loyal to Aruvia, are you not?" And then he sort of stands up and says, "Would it be okay if we had a brief recess so we could discuss certain matters? A quick 10-minute break." Marden's, of course, back here in 10 minutes then, everybody. Basil's just sitting there talking to Pickett, and you can hear him saying like, it sounds like the inspector is a lot more willing to give up and get out of Crowsfoot. Probably trying to convince her right now to save his own skin.
Can I? So I wanted to watch them carefully as they left the room, and B, survey the room for any kind of suspicious changes or anything that might put our hackles up as a potential source of danger, like whether this might have been planned. I'm thinking this would be a survey.
Yeah, I can just tell you that I don't think you get that impression.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Friedrich is good-naturedly sipping his drink and looking around, remaining aware of the surroundings.
I think Pickett leans onto the table. He says, "Yeah, it definitely seems like they're not in agreement. Maybe we can keep pushing Campbell to give in. Although I feel like we're going to have to give him one of these things, Bazo. I don't think we can get him to agree on all three. Maybe we can let him have the stupid academy. We can just make sure that they're pretty harmless. Let them send their kids there. Who cares? We'll have the whole of Crow's Foot."
It's harmless now, but you've got to think of the long term. If there's anything my ripe old age has taught me, things always go round in cycles. You leave it now, give it a whopping 2 years, an eternity, and they'll be back. They'll find a way. We can't give up.
My old friend, not so sure you need to be so concerned about the long term.
Oh, well, excuse me. I've got many year left in me. Thank you very much.
If I might make a suggestion, Mr. Baz and Mr. Pickett, for a potential sweetener to the deal, perhaps the Red Sashes might be allowed to keep the academy in return for the other 2 concessions, if they agree for a permanent representative of the Lampblacks to be a member of its management, to allow the Lampblacks to remain sure and secure that it is not being used to recruit agents against them, and of course, all the Lampblacks, good friends. And if that fails, in my experience, gold can be an important motivating factor.
Sounds like you're going to have to roll me something, Nick. Sounds like you're trying to persuade Bazo, or...
Sure, I mean, I've got no pips in sway, so that's going to go well. Risky?
Yeah, let's do risky standard.
You were trying to... Ooh. Well...
Oh.
Yeah, it's very much an oh.
Oh, yeah. Shit. It is 1 pip in the clock, though. You plant the seed of the idea. He says, perhaps that could be the case, but I actually agree with Mr. Monkshood in this situation. He knows the Arovians best, and if he says that we should keep an eye on them and stamp them out, then that is what we must do to get full control of Crow's Foot.
We can take a little sidebar with Silas and the group.
Sure.
They're getting one.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sidebar.
Yeah.
I can't remember how much Silas share, but Silas, we do have some leverage over. I mean, admittedly, he might be leaving, but we do know. Is there anything from what you learned that we could use to persuade him further at this point? If he is the fulcrum this all rests on, anything we could acquiesce to him to give up and leave altogether this is the time to do it.
Certainly, I've just been waiting for the moment to use that. You see, I feel we'll only have the leverage to use if we have a side conversation with the inspector ourselves. I believe we'll lose our momentum if we out him in the room for his ghostly proclivities.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, it's fucking awful, isn't it? Yeah, it's great. We've got loads of good stuff on him. I completely forgot on that.
Were you fishing for some odds and sods? I was like,
yeah, I kind of remembered we'd seen something, but I couldn't remember what. And actually, yeah, no, it was bad. Does Friedrich know about this?
You have no.
I completely missed the Inspector Fucks Ghosts episode.
That's pretty much it.
But also you have no proof. So if you're like,
no,
he fucks ghosts, and then they'll be like,
we can pretend we have proof,
but what we can do is let him know that we have something on him. Because actually it tells him that we know his secrets and he'll have to be wary, and that's inconvenient for him at best, but also that potentially we can get to him in general.
Yeah.
No matter where he goes.
It's also
So-
not he doesn't fuck ghosts. It's he lets ghosts inhabit him, so that they can people can communicate to
Oh wait, you made a funny joke about it. Like,
people
right.
through
Different
him.
medium.
Yeah,
But he does it
and
for pleasure.
But it's frowned upon.
Mm.
yeah, he does. He sort of offers
I
it.
remember the
as a-
joke. The
You
joke
could
we
say
made
it's
was
advice.
good. The line I wrote is the inspector likes to canoodle with ghosts. He's a ghost rider. That's what we said. That was the gag someone made.
Good one.
I thought it was funny. I didn't say it. I think Ollie said it.
Oh yeah, I think I said it, but no one else noticed.
I wrote it in my notes, mate.
And
It was
you were
that good
like-
I wrote it in my notes.
You were like, you got to watch the VOD to get the best joke.
Yeah. You did all miss it. It was
Yeah.
great.
So yes, you do have that. You do have that leverage. So you can
Yeah, I mean,
potentially
so I've
go
been
and
sat
go
here
and talk to
thinking
him.
about if I can just go and be like, "Hey, Inspector, can I have a word?" If I can, then
Now, moment, I
Yeah.
suppose.
Blackmailing an
Then during
inspector
the
is
research.
definitely a strong move. But also, you're not in agreement as to what you want the outcome to be of this.
Good point.
So
Now, let's
you
be bold, guys. Let's go for the whole. We got over the whole hog.
I mean, I tried to convince Baz. I don't like the Emporium at the negotiating table, putting aside any dirt we've got on the inspector, which it seems that we're only going to be using in closed doors anyway. Putting that aside, the Emporium doesn't have as much leverage in the actual peace talks as the
No.
Lampblacks do, right? They're the power. We're the supporting act.
Mhm.
So
who's supporting
I mean,
the actor who's done all the fucking work?
Yeah, should be our peace talks really.
But it sounded Pickett sounded like
Bloody Lampblacks.
was that Pickett who seemed
Yeah,
to be.
well, you're
ready
tier
to go?
0, so eat shit.
Yeah, that's
Well, there's-
kind of what we're getting at, I think.
Friedrich was trying
Well-
to be a bit realistic about that and try to convince the
Yeah,
strong
no.
ones to take
Yeah.
after you, and they
We-
did.
I think-
So.
Well,
I thought we are tier 1, we're just at war, so we're tier 0.
yes, and they're all
Yeah.
tier 2, so
Tier 3 down to tier 2.
there's always a
Yeah,
bigger
right.
fish. Well, there is a clock. You can continue to try and convince the Lampblacks to take to not go so strict.
Yeah.
Um,
was it? You
wait,
said
what?
Pickett sounded like he was on our side, right? You said someone seemed to agree with me.
Pickett the pragmatist, yeah.
I mean-
To clarify, there are two pitches that have been put across. One which Saffron has put across, which is give us everything,
Yep.
or else, because I hate you. Which appears to be more or less where Bazo is as well, and one which Friedrich has tried to put across, which is like, let's make a deal where they get to keep the academy, but we put some inspector in it to make sure that they don't train loads of guerrilla fighters to kill us. And nobody's gone along with that. And so either the rest of the party can try and help Friedrich convince the Lampblacks to go along with that, or we can stop trying to convince them and probably stick with the previous all or nothing approach.
I mean, the way I see it, we've basically got them on the short and curlies. You know, they're on the back foot. We've demolished their 4 pillars, so they're basically more or less dead anyway.
You've taken
if
out
they
three. You've taken out 3 pillars.
Yeah, so if they were our puppet, they wouldn't be that profitable or strong in the
That is
short
only
term.
in Crow's Foot, and
Yeah.
our attempts to, well, Friedrich's attempt to flush out any kind of inaccurate puffing up of their overalls, the Red Sashes' overall strength on Mylera's part, seemed to achieve only that she was like, no, we're fucking strong everywhere but here, and don't push us.
What's the effect of us beating them in this war exactly? Like, if we take them out completely, is their tier reduced to 1 or 0, or how does that work?
Gone, right?
Are they gone if we
they're
kill them
gone.
all?
I think they'd effectively be, if they had to agree to all 3, then yeah, they would be effectively no more. And I will say this carefully. For now.
Yeah, I think
Crow's Foot,
That's
Yeah, we're all getting the fact that this is talk about the Red Sashes haven't been defeated. The entire of the world of Dustful. We're
Return
conscious
the
this is all
Sash.
talking about Crow's Foot and the control over there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we all
You
know
look
what
a hog,
happened.
mate.
We all know what happened when France, wanted the reparations. They wanted the Rhineland. And what happened 20 years later?
And this, to be fair, is almost exactly the same.
Pretty much. What's it? Where were those negotiations? Alex, you'll know. Brest.
What? After the First World War? You mean the Treaty of Versailles?
Yeah,
There you go.
Famous one.
The Treaty of Versailles.
1919.
I suppose what
No.
you're saying is yes.
I
Give
mean,
them a small
could-
pinch so they don't. But nah, no thanks.
Could we
All right, sure.
allow them the turf, but then make them pay us a toll for them using our turf? So it's
Now we
like
want
a
the turf.
halfway point.
Stop trying to set up little side coin earners. There is
That's very
because the person
Well, no,
the person who wrote the game said that is completely against the whole ethos of the game. If you had a side business, if you were basically a landlord, you would not go on scores, and we may as well just end the campaign.
No, but it's like there's like RP involved in setting it up and then maintaining it as well, right? It's not like you set up a deal and that's gonna be like
This
good
isn't
forever.
this isn't a city builder game. This is
Boys,
you
I
guys
say we
doing
do it
scores.
straight.
This is I thought it was
So-
I say we give up all this
Yeah.
crime nonsense.
There is turf that lets you gain more coin, but
So
yeah.
where we're at, sorry. So the Lampblacks they bought into going whole hog and asking for everything.
that is the Lampblacks official
That is their
position. Yeah.
Great, and and obviously we feel like the inspector has most sway. He's obviously not up for that, but we think we have some sway over him to try and get him to do that. So I think we just plow on, use the sway. It's what we've done. Try and use it to influence him. Just take the deal now and encourage them to get all out. We've got the Lampblacks behind us, assuming we're all behind that, which is Olly's original question. It's up to Silas to kind of use what we've got to blackmail him or to push him into making this happen.
Yeah, I think I'd sort of generally agree in terms of the overall lay of the land here. It seems that it will be easier to convince the Red Sashes just to accept the terms than it will be to get the Lampblacks to soften the terms, perhaps. I don't know. I think that's probably.
I mean, the clocks are the same size, though.
They're not the same level of progress, though.
It's whether we're willing to give them something else as well. Do we have anything else?
Either way, I think the point is we sort of need to be working on one of them, not both, because there's no point trying to be like,
agreed.
let's take everything, let's compromise, and just walking around the room being a bit of this, bit of that.
Well, it sounds like Campbell would accept everything, but let the Sword Academy stay.
Yeah.
So if you
Was why
so you
Friedrich went along the way he did.
exactly, so you would actually only need to convince Basil of that, or you need to convince
Saffron.
the Red Sashes to surrender everything.
Which
And
we have
Saffron.
leverage to try and do that.
Yes, and we have leverage for that, whereas we don't have any way to leverage the Lampblacks. Well, we can convince them anyways, but we don't have a piece of leverage.
I'd give you a bonus for being, you've got history with them, you've got +2 with them. Like, you can leverage that as well.
So we're back to what I said. Right. Either somebody else tries to support the convincing of Bazo Baz by Friedrich while we're in the sidebar, or we abandon that and go on with Operation Pressure the Inspector to go.
You know where I stand, so it rests with Silas and Lorenzo.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to think what Silas would actually want to do and stop thinking about what Milo wants to do. I think Silas would not feel secure with having them still hold some territory. I think that would be an issue for him. So his goal would be to push on with Saffron's Operation Eradication.
Well, hold on. That's putting it very strongly. Let's not put a name on it.
Yeah, it's much easier to stomach if you don't put a name on it, right, Saffron?
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Just doing the right thing for your people.
Okay. Making
So we're
Operation.
edging towards killing them all.
Now, how about an
It's-
operation
it's-
like
it's-
you know?
it's-
just
no,
like-
it's not. It's
Right,
not.
it's
It's
a-
not killing everybody. It's
We're not doing any ethnic cleansing. We just think that this territory would be more secure if the people we've just been at war at weren't allowed in it,
they'd be kicked out of Crowsfoot, basically.
which is a district of a big city.
Exactly. Small piece of the pie, really. Come on.
Yeah.
What are they going to lose? It's more worth. End of the day, like if they
And
stay, we'll just attack them later. So
They've
they might as well
got
give up
quite a lot
now.
to lose.
Exactly.
And if they leave, they can always get their strength back up and come back for you
We can
anyways.
establish our strength too, anyway. So yeah, we got to push on and get rid of them because there's no point. Like I say, they leave and then they've got the thing and they've got all the advantage. At least if they're fully out, we've got Crowsfoot and we've got something that is concrete.
More stuff to lose.
But more to leverage.
Well,
Bold and daring, guys.
Friedrich never was the most daring of us all, to be honest.
Apart from
Much
his
more of
outfit.
I
well,
think
of course.
I think this is a case of not cooler heads prevailing. So, well, go on then. You have to convince the Red Sashes then to give up everything.
Yeah, sounds easy.
I have. Well, actually, that was annoying.
Especially when the person with a piece of leverage is the worst person to go and do it.
Well,
Well, technically, we all have it.
Exactly. We can all aid. We can help.
Yeah.
And I will say that there is a fail state for this negotiations where the war will
Sure.
continue.
Sure. Makes
So
sense.
don't think that you can just sit here and roll action rolls until one of the binary results is decided.
What is your take, Mr. OPDM? There's certain drugs that induce hypnotic trances and stupors and visions. What do we think about the ability to use that to make them more susceptible to negotiation, to kind of lower the defenses almost? Specifically, I'm looking at trance powder, which a glittery powder that induces a pleasant hypnotic trance when inhaled or drunk from a bottle.
I think
Use that.
if you get them to agree to stuff in this room, and then they go away and it wears off, and they don't actually agree to those things, it will be the same as
right.
no negotiation.
That's just a thought. Just having some thoughts, being creative, role playing.
Yeah, Jedi mind trick. Come on, it's like in a bottle. Why not?
Cool. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, I think now's the moment to try and talk to him. So we need to get him to the side, and Saffron will wheel alongside Silas for the conversation. Don't know if everyone else comes, but
Yeah, although he hates you, so maybe not.
all right. Oh, yeah, well, I mean, it could be that is the last bit of leverage, isn't it?
What?
That he doesn't like you. Is that
No,
leverage?
if it's like, I've got my notes. So, the inspector dedicated to taking down Saffron. End of the day, if all things go wrong, Saffron could offer himself up. Like you could take him away in cuffs if it'll agree to the war being ended. If he'll give it all up, it's a Hail Mary play that I want to do. But
Well,
that was told to me that the inspector's dedicated to taking down Saffron. If
true.
if Saffron will give himself up to. That's a last resort. Let's not just jump to it. I'm just saying.
I'm just
Other
saying.
leverage we
I'm
have.
just saying as well that wouldn't even need a roll. That would be
All right.
that would get you what you want.
Let's do the other thing first, though.
I don't know. I was thinking maybe we don't need to do that anyway. Do I have leverage? What?
I think you've got quite a lot of leverage, mate. I think you should really.
Did he go to was it a shop or something? He was. I just don't
No, I
remember.
think you should.
I just got
it
punched in
was
the head just one too many
it was
times.
pretty bad.
and-
Pretty bad.
Right,
Pretty
okay.
bad.
Let's get back to doing.
Do it.
So I presume that the break sort of comes to an end, and it may not seem completely conventional. Silas will say, perhaps as people are filtering back. I like to think we've got little side rooms, so we're filtering back in. And he gestures at for Friedrich to come with him, because he's got that silver tongue that no one else in the party possesses.
Still no points this way, just so you're aware. It's
Yeah.
Alex's silver tongue, not Friedrich's.
All right. Silas doesn't know what Friedrich's character sheet looks like. Says, Inspector, might I just have a quick word before we continue with these negotiations?
Of course. I feel as though without your big sword in your hand, you're not as impressive up close, Mr. Templeton.
If you are some sort of inspector worth your salt, I suppose you should probably be aware that there are other dangers that lurk around here other than the sword.
Now, gentlemen. We are at a peace conference after all. Silas can be a cuddly teddy bear if he wants, and I'm sure the same is true of you, my good inspector. Now, what is it you wanted to discuss with the inspector, Mr. Templeton?
Well, Inspector, speaking of the other dangers that lurk around here, of course in the spirit of good negotiation, I was hoping I might be able to encourage you to make some concessions and bring these negotiations to a swift close by supporting us in accepting the Lampblacks' terms.
He just grins and says, Why exactly would I do that? I feel that our terms are more than satisfactory. I believe you could probably convince that oaf Bazo to accept this quite big humiliation to the Red Sashes.
I am so glad that you asked. Why? It seems to be that as a talented inspector you are, that perhaps you haven't noticed that certain members of our organization have been following in a few of your footsteps, finding what you get up to in the evenings, say once a month at a little shop downtown. And you know, I'm not going to make any accusations here to be improper, I feel, but we all have our vices, and those vices are, well, I just don't think they're very inspectory. I wonder if the inspectors that you work with would be keen to know what you get up to on those late evenings. I wonder if the Red Sashes that you're so proud to be a member of would approve of what you get up to. And finally, I'd wonder if you approve of being so easy to follow, find. It's quite the occupational hazard.
Sounds like you need to roll me something. He's also not technically a Red Sash, because that would mean
well,
he could be an inspector.
He's part of the. But he effectively is, right? He's
he definitely
part of their academy, and he's in their negotiations. So I think it's reasonable to.
Yes, he is definitely a patron.
If I retcon his and rephrase it. Yes, well, I would like to roll a command because I'm attempting to intimidate him into agreeing with us.
He's saying he's sympathetic to his cars.
True.
If Friedrich can support, I would say that he would do so. Well, the tricky thing is that because you're intimidating rather than you're commanding rather than swaying, so Friedrich isn't really in a position to help very much. He's not a terribly threatening presence.
Also, what are your guys' harms as well?
Just a stab.
Oh, okay.
Stab and a burn.
Nothing that can interfere with the social score.
I've been taking my penalties for weeks.
I can't remember where my burn was from the fire bottle oil.
Yeah.
I assume it was like chest.
Probably. Right.
I've got an acid burn that's across.
Alright, so we're going to roll a command. It feels like it is time to do the little pushy. I presume it's risky.
So Don't you say it. Don't you say that.
Well, I'm thinking because what is the potential?
It is a
failure?
bit of an ultimatum, isn't it? Really, actually. Well, something I'm starting to feel a little nervous.
I'm gonna say risky, but it's going to be no effect.
No effect, even though we have leverage on it.
You don't have any evidence apart from
He doesn't know
your word against his.
He doesn't know.
Yeah, but I don't think he. I think he would be careful. It's like his big secret. I don't think he would.
Well, it's not his big secret, is it? Because we've made it very clear that we're aware of it.
Yeah, but he could easily. I don't think he. I think he would know if there was any evidence.
Me and ghosts? That's ridiculous. That's pish posh.
I think that. Yeah, I can imagine like how many.
Do you not think that he'd be like a little rumbled if he knew that the thing that was his big secret that we actually do know all about? We know where he goes. We know when he goes.
He may be rumbled, but he may not like agree to do what you say at all.
Of course not.
Which is what you're trying to do.
But no effect means he can't possibly agree to do what we say.
Yeah, no effect sort of to me means he doesn't give a fuck.
But there are ways to get more effect.
Yeah. I can
trade the position, homeboy.
Can I roll one over?
Trade position.
I forgot to trade position as well. Yeah, okay. Well,
you can do a devil's bargain. Hello.
Has extra dice.
He is the devil.
The man that lost the negotiation in one fell swoop. Yes. Okay. All right. Let's see. So we're gonna let's trade the position for effect and get to limited.
Okay.
And then see, I've only got one die for command anyway. So it feels like a lot to leave lying on one dice to push the effect. You can push for effect as well, right?
I think
can you?
So. I can just quickly check.
I don't think I will. I think limited effect, since there's only going to be one die, it feels like too much to leave on one dice, especially if I've pushed it to desperate.
Too late.
I like mechanically. I'm really worried about it too, but it narratively is not right for Friedrich to be able to help you with commanding this guy.
No, that makes sense.
I have no knowledge, or it's just not something that would work.
So you can trade position for effect, and you could push yourself for an extra die. And Devil's Bargain as well.
All right, go on. Let's hear a Devil's Bargain.
God, that laugh.
Let's see here.
I feel like it's worth throwing the kitchen sink at it, since he put the time into getting this information.
So what do you want with the Devil's Bargain? You want more effect?
Yes.
You don't want another die? Can you not get another die from a Devil's Bargain?
Well, I could have 2 die and standard
push yourself for a die.
Theoretically. I mean, I'm not super interested in balancing the numbers exactly. I just kind of want more overall chance of success, whichever way that lands.
Kind of what we're after here, isn't it?
I think the fact that you're doing this is like your one use of this leverage, right? Like he will just change his patterns and won't allow you to catch him like this again. I think Devil's Bargain.
I don't like that laugh. I don't like
I'm
it.
trying to. I'm split between 2.
I've been here. I've been on this end of this before.
I think you will owe him a favor in the future.
Okay, so bad.
Could be awful.
It could be terrible. Have you ever watched anything or read a book of any kind?
Whenever
someone owes someone a favor, it's never, "I'd like you to bring a case of whiskey over for a party sometime." It's usually, I want you to go and do something that'll put you in mortal peril at the drop of a hat.
Or it's going to be, Silas,
okay with
I'm
that.
going to marry your wife.
Okay.
Can I ask one more time if it's too late for Saffron to try and help? That's not part of the
You
equation.
know what? Actually, no. Here's the devil's bargain.
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
Here's the devil's bargain. Bazo learns that you go in behind his back, and you lose status with the Lampblacks.
Why would he care that we tried to screw over the inspector?
Well, he'll probably care less if we're successful.
True.
But
Yes,
we get
this
the
is
props
their
whether we're
negotiation.
successful or
No,
not.
I see. No, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. I get it. Yeah. No, you mean more like in this moment, like not working with them directly, kind of taking a sidebar.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. Yep, that makes sense.
On the other hand,
Go on then.
yeah, I mean, if we don't take the devil's bargain, we've still shot our load, right? Like, we've still told we can't just retcon that, can we? What Silas has said.
Yeah, that's true. This leverage is used once it's used, whether it's successful or not.
I think even if it doesn't make sense, the devil's bargain is Bazo won't like it
No,
for
I
whatever
get it.
reason, his pride, whatever it is.
I ask
He
one
doesn't
more
like-
time if it's too late for Saffron to be part of the help. No one answers
And
me.
once again, asking for your financial support.
No, you can't retcon that you're all in
Can't
the
wheel
room.
myself over. No, because we said Friedrich, and he's done nothing to help. Let's see. Can't we flashback?
Well,
I can't flashback within the thing.
that's what Silas asked for Friedrich to come with him.
No,
Yeah, he specifically didn't bring Saffron over because Saffron and the inspector.
I had a really fun
would
thing I
not
was
be
going to say though.
Come on, I need a dice roll.
Right. Okay. So, I'm just going to go back to the start of my dice roll to make sure we get this right. So I'm going to take the special bargain. Devil's bargain.
Special bargain.
Big command. It started at risky. We're pushing effect for position. Boom. So it's now desperate. It's now desperate limited. Okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna push self to get
Extra dice.
extra dice, and the devil's bargain is going to give me +1 effect.
Yep.
So we're going to be up to
No, desperate standard.
desperate standard.
Hold on to
Guys,
your
so
assholes.
That is
everyone.
is a lot of cylinders
Yeah.
firing.
So-
Everyone
yeah.
hold hands, please.
So I can say 0 effect. It's fine.
Okay. All right. Is everybody
holding hands.
feeling? Is everybody feeling comfortable?
I'm holding all your hands virtually.
Okay.
Hold
Digitally.
ghost hands. Yep.
Really wish I had some dice to blow on.
Yeah. Blow on the
Aye.
microphone.
Silas, you're so convincing. You're
Okay.
reasonably convincing.
Okay. It's good. It's
Alright.
it's good. It's successful with standard effect. Just a very bad consequence, right?
Yes.
Desperate.
A desperate consequence.
No.
Oh God. Okay, fine. So he does believe you that you have evidence or leverage, or he's not willing to take that risk. So he says to you, after he's reacted to what you said, it's like, fine, I will try to convince my Lyra to accept this, but I will have to present it as a tactical retreat from Crow's Foot rather than a complete surrender to the Lampblacks. So you can be for sure that you'll be seeing us again in the not too near future. And this time we won't be making the same mistakes.
I wouldn't have it any other way, Inspector. Thank you for your cooperation in this matter.
And then the armoured hull smashes through the wall.
That soon? I thought we're talking a year.
Did you think I wouldn't have any insurance?
Well, we've got to end it there, guys.
Nice.
Oof.
Oh, that was a real nail biter.
Good. It's good.
Some
I was gonna try and
dense
convince him.
dialogue.
Social situations are, aren't they? Right?
I was going to try and convince.
Go on.
I was going to try and convince him that, show the wheelchair and how fantastic that device was. I was going to try and convince him that I had also created some kind of capturing device that could, capture an image and hold it in time, and we had seen. We've got that visual proof of his indiscretions.
That would.
I was going to try.
Equally cool.
Yeah.
I was going to try to help. I was going to help that one.
Yeah.
Apologise for the tactical error.
No, mate, you did it.
That would have been cool.
You did it. You did it.
You just got to convince him that you could float a wheelchair up to a window and easily done. Cool. Well,
Yeah.
I feel like next session we'll be wrapping up season 1 of War of the Crows.
Yeah.
The War of the Crows is over. We'll have to find out.
War of the Ravens begins.
I feel like this is going to be potentially you splitting up the spoils of war with the Lampblacks.
Sure.
That's rather
Yeah,
exciting.
for the
This is where
Special Constable Academy. We'll be taking that one.
Well, you've pissed off Bazo, so we'll have to see. They're still tier 2. They're the de facto power now.
But wait, so
I'm pretty sure, Mikey, that he will. The effect on Bazo of him being pissed off is likely to take effect before the dividing of the spoils.
So I thought Devil's Bargain only going to happen if you then fail.
No.
The Devil's Bargain always happens.
The effect happens whether you fail or succeed. That's the
totally missed.
That's the whole risk of it.
I totally missed that as a concept.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to deal with that one.
Good to learn. Good to learn.
We're all learning.
Good to know.
That was a stonker, OP. Thank you.
Good stuff.
Yeah. I'll have to do some fights next time just cause.
And
Just 'cause,
Yeah.
There's still
Just do
time.
like
Can I not just beat the shit out of the inspector and call it a day?
Oh, please, can we? I put a grenade in his pocket.
He lightly goaded me by pointing at that stab wound, so I should beat him to death now.
If you want the war to continue for another few episodes, we can do that if you want. Get some more.
That was good. Enjoyed that.
Awesome.
Cool. All right, then, guys.
Amazing.
See you next time.